NPR makes the same mistakes in the same direction again and again. That's when you know it's not a mistake. The government can't fund reporters who are trying to overthrow this government. We have enough propaganda channels. Why should taxpayers be on the hook for this one? I like Sesame Street. I grew up on it. I was Oscar the Grouch for Halloween. And my daughter Gigi loves Elmo. But around 99% of PBS and NPR's money comes from private donations. So why can't these donors pony up 1% more? Do they really need taxpayer money if they have billions pouring in from liberal benefactors? The answer is, of course not. But Democrats don't want to save any taxpayer money. They just want to run against Musk in the midterms.
It is the mindset of the Trump administration. And that is that this government is to be run for a handful of billionaires and people with power. And everyone else can just eat dirt. We're feeling it everywhere that Elon Musk goes with his magic chainsaw to fire people, to do it in ugly ways, to undermine the kind of obligations we have passed here in Congress.
Democrats are fighting to fund Drag Queen Story Hour, mysterious Amazonian women, pregnancy prevention for boys, but don't forget about DEI tomato seeds.
Behind a door at USDA, we found a whole box of these seeds. These are specific tomato seeds that are for growing diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility at USDA. I mean, look at these. If you can be anything, be inclusive at USDA.
Fox and Friends weekend co-host Charlie Hurt is here. DEI tomato seeds. I did not see that coming, Charlie.
Yeah, we need to get on top of that. My tomatoes are racist, apparently, so we need to do something about that. I have to say that the hearings today were about 50 times. I spent a lot of time listening to NPR for some bizarre reason, I think because I live in the country, and there aren't that many radio stations, so you get a lot of NPR. Those hearings today were about 50 times more entertaining than any hour you can ever get on NPR. And NPR is pretty entertaining if you're looking for the bias. But your montage that you've just put together, the highlight reel, is even better. NPR is basically white privilege, is what it is. And when you sit there and you listen to these CEOs and these directors claim that there is no bias at NPR and PBS, you get an idea of just how completely delusional they are. And my favorite thing about it is, they love to say that, oh no, we only get just a tiny fraction of our funding from the federal government. But then when you threaten to take the funding away, they start freaking out like they're not going to be able to survive without it, because the truth is that they get way more funding from taxpayers than they let on. And it goes, through all of these, local stations that pay fees that go back to NPR. And so I think that the reason they're squealing right now is because I think that the Trump administration and Elon Musk has identified that if they pull government funding for these programs, they're going to collapse.
I've listened to NPR sometimes when I'm driving in the country. You're exactly right. And it's relaxing, and it's liberal, and it's kind of fun and stupid, and it makes me think like I'm hanging out with my liberal family. And it just doesn't need my money, though, Charlie. I got the sense about the blonde woman, Kathy. Kathy thinks she's better than everybody. She's a socialite. She's just there. She's just going to play dumb and say, I'm evolved. And then she's just going to fly back to New York and then just do what she's been doing her whole life. And I don't like that. I don't like the way she came off right there.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you want to have like gay Elmo jokes and gay Bert and Ernie jokes and do all that kind of stuff, that's fine. Nobody has a problem with it. But the problem is when not only you're paying for it, but you're being forced to pay for it. You don't have a choice about it. You have to pay your taxes. And if you think about it, and I love it when Democrats say, oh, that's just a drop in the bucket. It's only tens of millions of dollars, or it's only $100 million. Well, you know what? I have never paid $100 million in my entire life in federal taxes. So basically what you're telling me is that all the federal taxes I've ever paid pay for Bert and Ernie to be or not be gay or for Elmo. And I don't want to pay, I don't want all my taxes to go for this. So if you want to do it, get, your liberal white Tesla, people selling their Teslas and giving their proceeds to NPR. Let them pay for it.
Right.
Just let me off the hook. I want out. I don't want any more of this.
So I didn't think Bert and Ernie were gay. And then we looked into it, and the writer says he wrote them gay. And then NPR and PBS were like, well, no, they just live together. It's controversial. I don't know if they're gay or not.
Yeah, they're just roommates.
They're just roommates.
Yeah, they're just roommates. I think the phrase is they protesteth too much.
I swear they're just roommates. I've heard that before. All right, Charlie Hurt. He listens to NPR. He's out of the closet. He's out of the closet as an NPR listener.
Right.
You're making us all proud. Thank you. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.